Hello, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where in the previous episode we concluded it with getting rid of Captain McRad about the Groundbreaker. It was not the smoothest of operations, and yet we did. So, in terms of our further movements, I am thinking of first visiting the Sublight and checking them out over here. Then maybe checking the Halcyon board over here. And then maybe we'll go to engineering and finish everything with rest and go. Okay.
Oh, neat! They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Now, this should prove interesting, to say the least.
Warehouse terminal. Messages from okay, don't run, Fallbrook shipment, and this week in salvage. We lost another contractor to a UDL gunship. This is your daily reminder that legitimate businesses don't run from authorities. And that is what we are. Stay calm, present your papers. If you get tangled up in the courts, I will personally bail you out. Anyone seen Hawthorne lately? I could use some reliable help. Fallbrook shipments. Unlike most of you sprats, Catherine is bringing Sublight a consistent income. From today, until I say so, you are to treat her as an extension of my desk. Speaking of which, Tobias, order an extension for my desk. Fallbrook shipment. Erotica generic, erotica exotic. Okay. Black hole Holcomb? As in Parvati Holcomb? This we can salvage. My scanner says the Modettes impounded a freelancer ship after the captain misbehaved. The crew dropped so many beats at Vera's place that they can't afford to lift the impound. Whoever gets me salvage rights gets to sit quietly in my office and watch a professional work. One of ours had an altercation with one of theirs. Lost another contractor. Scrapped the ship, dedicated a tenth of the salvage to funeral expenses. I take care of my people. A little sprat told me that a crate of spoiled sister pork ended up at the bottom of a Monarch Canyon. Let's see how much we can sell. Speaking of which, no one eat at Auntie Cleo's stall until I say so. Something in the kitchen goes bad. Next time one of us finds an abandoned ship and decommissions it, they had better dispatch a ground team to the debris field before the marauders have their turn. Just because we're salvagers doesn't mean we have to be scavengers. Alright. Not much to steal from you guys. Okay. Tobias. Hello.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the unreliable?
Give me a moment, please. Kept the window open so that the room is cooler, but it got actually cold. Anyway, how do you know?
Money. We got it. The Steve doors want it. I'll take that as a yes. Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door.
You're a Sublight employee?
Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
Your face looks banged up. So, you must be Lilia. A legitimate business. Contractors. If the authorities are on your heels, our legal team has pre-approved you to recite the passage from our colonial trading rights. Pursuant to regulations following internally preserved boasts, Such a business entity would therefore be entitled to gather, maintain, and ultimately dispose of decommissioned agricultural hardware and accessories for profit of convenience. The short version, if we handle potted meat, we can legally salvage tractors and tractor parts. That's why I keep a can of Borscht in a Sublight-owned safe deposit box off-world, and why the goods you bring in are catalogued as farm equipment. Everything we do is perfectly legal. Now go bring home some bacon. Dangerous Frontiers by Ophelia Sweeney. It is intriguing how we devoted our resources to the stars when there were still so many problems to be solved on Earth. Exposing our fragile species to the breadth of the cosmos renders settlers and spacers alike vulnerable to the mysteries of other worlds. The fate of an outbound civilization could hinge on a single miscalculation, an unobserved variable, and any number of alien catastrophes. Recklessness and impatience are perhaps hardwired features of humanity, and not errors in our genes as others might imply. I don't think this guy would be happy. Ooh, a balcony. Alright, let's have a chat.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come.
I saw your job opening on one of the public terminals.
At least one system on Groundbreaker still works. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere.
Get to the point.
I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
There is always one.
Just like in the serials.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested?
What's so special about Stella Bay?
First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack.
I don't have the nav key, but can I still take the job?
I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits.
I take it Sublight isn't strictly a salvage operation.
These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other sectors, where I can let my hair down.
What kinds of other sectors does Sublight pursue other than salvage and shipping?
Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation and a shot across the bow. You know, legal formalities.
Wink and nod.
Good boy. Knew you'd understand.
You're very honest about Sublight's criminal side.
Hey, careful with the C word around here. I like to keep things above board, and that kind of talk only makes trouble. Sublight occupies a legal blind spot. No one knows what we're licensed to do, and that gives our little business some freedom. But let's not tempt fate.
How organized is this business?
Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets. Grids in general. I
Impressive.
like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one.
Back to my other
Ask.
questions.
I have nothing to hide.
I don't think I have questions.
Be seeing you. Make sure you aren't followed on your way out.
Okay, so this requires me to get a nav key, which is it's just a thing. We need to take care of that. Now, let's head over to the Halcyon over there and check what we can do about our impounded ship.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
Halcyon News.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top of the system's food chain as they are.
Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Have you given your...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he.
No, I'm
Has
not.
something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
He's dead.
Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have.
What was your relationship with him?
He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he?
I really wouldn't know.
It must have been lost with Alex then. One more tragedy to top the pile. Tell me, how did he die?
Trust me, you don't want to know the details.
You're quite right, of course. Best not to pry into such dismal things.
Again, I'm very sorry. Can we get back to the topic at hand?
Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go,
Yes.
Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all?
Why is the board so interested in Wells anyway?
You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm.
Alex never mentioned Phineas Wells. I never talked to Alex, right? So.
That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
What's this about the board having your head?
It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well, it's my white whale, I suppose.
No, I can't tell you where Wells is.
It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work.
I wanted to ask you something else.
Be my guest.
I do not want to poke the board member about the Stella Bay, so... What are those locked doors in the back?
A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use.
Does the chairman visit here often?
Good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile.
As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use.
What do you do here exactly?
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands.
Big fish in a small space station.
I have few complaints.
Why are there armed guards in here?
Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course.
To watch your back, you mean?
Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign.
You call keeping officers on their promenade benign?
When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care.
Back to my other
Ask away.
questions. We're leaving. Oh wow. Very nice. So, I'd like to get even more sneak. So now my crouch move speed is plus 25%. That is very nice. And I would like to get the rest in tech because I would like to improve my engineering to 50.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
There is some sort of elevator, is there not? Yet for 6 with a balcony and stuff. Okay, with that out of the way, how about we try to visit the engineering?
This is how
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
townships have asked Halcyon News to make a statement regarding rumors of food shortage.
Edna.
Rest assured, the far-sighted corporate leaders of Halcyon have tailored their product lines to be selective to the refined customer.
Song
Scheduled scarcity is a premium feature of colonial life. This is Halcyon News.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sublevel.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs already.
And some of them are wearing beanies in here. Now that's impressive.
Be seeing you, stranger.
Sealed. Why is it sealed?
You should clear out. Engineering's a dangerous place to wander until we get those radiators fixed.
I guess we need to talk to you then. But you have an unlocked terminal. Daily checklist. Radiator temp, plumbing overflow, life support, crew morale, scheduled landings, checklist, maintenance, brush teeth. You can do this, Junlei. Personal files. Back base. More complaints about the state of the bay. I already told the Modettes they're free to flush out McRed and his outlaws. They're so knotted up seeking warrants and paper justifications that they now want someone else to solve all their problems off the record. Sorry boys, not my job. Promenade status. Morale has dipped 18% since Martin Callahan showed up. It's the damned mask. Found another listening device in my office. A thing was the size of a toss ball with a cord leading all the way back to Sublight. Subtle as always, Lilia. Could have sworn the auto-mechanical chef arrived with the company tag. No record of the guy leaving the station. Will have to look into it. Spread infestation at the rest and go is getting out of hand. Ethel better not be wrenching those critters again, or I swear by law I'll airlock her stall. From Bedford, subject, my dear lady, and then, oh, to Bedford, obstructionist, okay. The implications of your accusations cause my breath to hitch in my throat. I am certain that we can arrive at an agreeable understanding for what is a board liaison if not a facilitator of handshakes between great powers, much like the board and yourself. When you do decide to return to the negotiations table, consider once again the embassy expansion's plans I laid out. Gestures of good faith do not go unpaid. The board rejected my request for new radiator parts. Again, even after I greased their wheels with some targeted donations. Funny thing, when I used my admin privileges to survey the outgoing comms, I noticed some activity from your office. You chose your words carefully, but I plucked a juicy phrase from the transcript. Let the frog boil a while longer. And now I have no radiator parts. You're playing with our lives. Did they install you on my ship just to get under my skin, or are you pulling this shit for fun?
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
I'm captain of the Unreliable, recently unshackled from Groundbreaker's impound.
Good for you. Hope you scared some sense into those bureaucrats giving you trouble. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
I'll try not to start any fun fights, but I might have to end some.
Ain't that always the way? So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Now that my ship's out of impound, I can safely say I'm headed for Monarch. Sure, why not?
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What's it like being in command around here?
Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
The ship is a family business?
Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gayen, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about.
Where is the self-destruct mechanism? Sure, why not?
I hope that was a joke, Captain. I really do. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. Family recipe.
Okay, back to my other questions.
my
Well, let's
attention.
not insult the person with her age. You don't have a lot of faith in the board.
You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
How do you keep the board at a safe distance?
I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change.
You must not like Udom very much.
I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters.
Okay, back to my
You
other
got my
questions.
attention.
It seems kind of warm in here. What's going on?
Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
Why haven't you fixed them yet?
Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Is there no room for compromise?
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive.
How do the heat radiators work?
A simple question with a complicated answer. One that I unfortunately don't have time to give, not with our situation being so dire.
I could explain that for you later, Captain. I mean, the general principle. Not like these particular radiators.
You're smart to keep an engineer on staff, Captain. In my experience, all the good techs steer clear of freelance work.
I found some parts lying around in the back base. Will these do the job?
Those are... Wow. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Remarkable. How did you... I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
Define slight.
More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
I got your parts. Why do I have to go to some maintenance shaft?
If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need an engineering team. As it is, my staff is busy keeping the station from melting down. You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these parts. Not quickly, at least. Not on the first try. Able though you've proven to be.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Okay.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, or weapons. This story brought to you by Halcyon News.
So you go into the military, but it does not guarantee you the military discount. Or even participation in something.
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was...
Would hate for you to get left behind, or architect forbid, become lost.
clear of the radiators. You don't need to kill the mantipillars, but I'd be mighty grateful if you did. I've got this thing about giant insects.
Archived logs and transmissions. Arrival confirmation. To HHB Earth HQ. Transmitted via probe archived at source. It is my honor to report that Groundbreaker has successfully arrived at our Lagrange point, having released our cargo of prefab housing, settlers, and supplies at their intended colony worlds. May they prosper and expand. Now that stages 1 and 2 of the mission have been carried out, my family will take ownership of the Groundbreaker as specified in our contract, keeping the ship in active duty as an independent trading post, repair stop, and cargo bay. I'd be remiss if I closed this transmission without sending my hopes and best wishes back to Earth. There is so much ahead of us, but we'll never forget what we left behind. A stern reminder. Some very rich and unsavory elements among our colonial neighbors seem to have the wrong idea about why I flew us out here. It wasn't for a 9-figure blood money salary and a Spaces Church logo stamped on my ass. It wasn't to nickel and dime patching ships out of their last bid. Groundbreaker has no role in the success or failure of Halcyon corporate entities. Period. I negotiated that understanding and clearly outlined it in writing before I ever set foot on this ship. If anyone wants to dispute or compromise our independence, they will answer to a Tennyson. We're a family operation. Even when the last Tennyson falls, Groundbreaker will remember us and defend its freedom accordingly.
Here they come!
Leave them to me!
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanics still stuck in here. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are free from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
And then we apparently have some auto mechanicals, right? Christ almighty, these things actually burn. Hi.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pumps.
Mechanical Guardian and a combat drone. That's quite a combination. Bad idea.
System alert.
Lithium fluid pressure at 23%, solid state radiators at 102% capacity, PCM heat sinks at 98% capacity, ambient station temperature plus 8, machinery shaft temperature plus 29. Logs cobbled together. The stuff is getting restless. Workaround and half-cooked solutions are all we've got to mend Groundbreaker's bones. In many cases, we can't revive one system without cannibalizing another. Grandma lived with that reality, and so will I. I can't rally our spirits, but what happens when I'm not around? Groundbreaker's real test will be seeing if our independence outlasts me. I'll take that bet. Old plans, new problems. Found some Chief Gyung's old schematics. Groundbreaker must have taken a beating during the crossing because she spent half of her career patching it up. A lot of corners cut when they put this place together. Among her papers, I also found the layout of a hangar that doesn't mention any of my dogs. Something that might have gotten sealed off along the way, like blood cells isolating an infection. I hate to put sentiment down in print, but every time I open a panel or find some workaround in the guts of this old bird, it's like I can feel you reaching out to me from the past, Grandma. Cycling successful.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Still need to navigate my way around these guys. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. Hey, they're not hot anymore.
jail, Mr. Max? And you were our vicar?
Yes, but as I've repeatedly said, I was assigned there as a vicar. I was not a prisoner.
Where the hell have you been, Private? You've missed 3 shifts without notice.
I was fixing that toilet you sent me to repair. The one above the Lost Hope.
That was days ago.
The fucking door. It locked behind me. And it wasn't until this freighter captain found me that I...
You're lucky the chief would have my ass if I spaced you. Now get back to work, Private.
Right away, sir.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first. Coaches and referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Okay, Parvati, go ahead.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry.
That's fun. We'll be on our way. Okay, you had some communication issues,
You
right?
aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time.
Why would we run out of time? You headed somewhere?
Me? No. But our relaying capabilities? That's on the final countdown. We're going offline in 3, 2, 1.5... No. Wait, I've lost track of my weeks. Maybe it was 36 or... sometime dire soon.
So, why are you about to lose comm capabilities?
Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to the station.
That'll put the whole system in a right dire situation.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't spare people for routine maintenance.
Sounds like it's time to get the auxiliary station back online.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget for a diagnostic expedition. But allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps getting denied by Junlei. The chief.
What's in it for me if I investigate your relay problem?
You save my comm center from chaos. I guarantee I'll get the chief to authorize some payment forms with your name on them while you're out fixing the station.
I could check out the relay.
I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out why it's offline. I'll send you with an equipment manual. Hopefully we'll get lucky, or I'll get my approval in time.
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure reading.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. Better late than never, eh?
You just let messages from Earth sit in memory on an orbital relay?
It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium can afford them. I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages just waiting for me to sort through.
Okay, that is that. I think it's time for us to visit Rest and Go. I'm curious, however, if a certain behavior would be tolerated. No, it will not.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lots of good people can rest easy because of you.
What was that about back at Junlei's?
Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater?
Oh, you had the engineer there, this little guy. Sounds like you're not sure how you feel.
I just met her. How could I be? All I know is, I want to talk with her more. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just, here's how to fix it. And they trust her. It's just... she's calm and knows what to do. I wish I was half so confident.
Alright, let's go to the Rest and Go.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. And now for a special word from Chairman Rockwell.
Greetings, hard-working citizens of Halcyon. In these profitable times, we need only look to one another to find examples of honest labor and earnest work ethic. But there are those who cheat and swindle their way through life. It breaks my heart to see the fruits of your labor stolen by these vagabonds. One such man is Phineas Wells. The board unanimously decided that in the interests of protecting our best assets, that's you, we are substantially raising the reward for his arrest. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, do your civic duty and come forward. Until then, my friends, keep working and we'll keep paying you. Farewell.
This has been an official message from our hard-working chairman. Such an honor for all of our listeners. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your man...
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time.
How's life?
Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown.
How does Groundbreaker keep the board at bay?
Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free.
You mentioned Sublight.
Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one.
Do you have a crush? Do you do business with the prominent merchants?
Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
I'm looking for Gladys.
Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from.
Okay. And my performance tanks a little bit around here.
This is Halcyon News, reading up the regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Reports from concerned supervisors indicate that rates of time theft are on the rise. We urge all of our listeners to remember that lack of productivity is not a victimless crime. Workers should be on the lookout for slacking and underperformance. Report anyone you suspect of time theft to your supervisor immediately. This is Halcyon News, reminding you that there's no in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saltuna.
Flamethrower. I have a unique one. Gives me block. I think I will start picking up the cards. She is. Nanner Spank, what the hell is it? Oh, I don't have that one. Talking about stuff. I have to pick up these goggles, right? Engineering plus 15 or perception minus 1. Okay. Frame Maywood. So who are you, Frame?
Now see here, I'm... What was I doing again?
No clue, man. I'm always happy to see an unlocked terminal. Pay-to-view movies, serials, and access guest messages. Of course, access guest messages. From Veritas, be careful, space for the ISCC, and from Reza, please stop. Okay. Be careful. One of the UBs, is it Udom? Anyway, Squealers came asking for you. After you. I wanted to know what you like to drink, who you talk to, what your temperament's like, tried to pay me off. I took the beats and told her a pack of lies. Watch your back when you get in. I don't want to find you in the waste disposal chute. I see. Been a while since I heard from you. You're on that long haul out to the Shkova right now. Hope it goes well. I got a space for you and yours to meet when you get back. It's just a storage room, but it's quiet and safer than the bar. Should be able to accommodate most of your folks. No fees or nothing, just let me buy you a beer. Oh, sorry. The message is no longer accessible? Mr. McRed, we have reviewed your proposal for the 10th time and still do not agree that galactic mushroom is an acceptable flavor for a resort beverage. Even if we were to pursue your idea, the samples you sent us were dangerously hallucinogenic. The unopened package alone caused mayhem in our receiving bay. Subject: stop looking or else. Or else what? Anyway, we can put another 5 over here. We can put another 3 here. Well, I need either one of those, right? And I also need a dialogue. And I also need Hagen lockpick, so sheesh. For now we will go with this. Now you. Thinking about more of this one. And the next one, please tell me I have an assassin over here. Movement speed during TTD. Oh, that would be very nice. Scanner might be nice. Interchangeable highlight range. Oh, interactable, sorry. Yes, there is an assassin, but I will need to work to make my weapons quieter. Oh god, you scared me.
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated and unstoppable.
I don't know, Mr. Vicker. That seems like quite a leap.
Squatter's Journal. I served on 2 corporate freighters before I got stranded here. Everyone's heard my sob story, but no one's listening. Then I'm just background radiation. Wasn't my fault the captain decided to take off early. Wasn't my fault no one checked the crew manifest. Wasn't my fault they replaced me with a full-timer. Now I'm filthy, beatless, and bedless. Far as anyone's concerned, I'm Groundbreaker's trash. Now that's how I live. And if no one agrees to take me on as crew, I suppose that's how I'll die. So I assume Gladys is over here, and this should be my sneaky way to the sickbay.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
For the last rat-on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you?
Ellie sent me.
What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone.
She's worried about you. A lot.
Criminy. She really ain't gonna drop this, is she? Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low.
What did you do that got you in trouble?
What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear.
Yet, you think the bot had someone follow you, and now you're hiding out.
Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the Blood Tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years.
What does this have to do with the bot? So you stole it.
If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the medbay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm.
The what?
Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent.
Ellie asked me to help you, so that's what I plan to do.
Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me.
I'll talk to Udom for you.
Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh?
Okay, so I gotta pass the check with the guy, and then I may be able to leave. Is that right?
Saw something. Huh. Nothing there.
That's what I thought.
Any word on Jessie?
She's in debt to the board and thinks someone's after her. I'll handle it.
Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Spacer's Choice is enjoying an unexpected windfall. Sources credit an increase in salt tuna production for this quarter's earning projections. Great job, as always, to our hard-working cannery technicians. You've been listening to Halcyon News.
How do you do? Ah, how might I assist you?
I'm here about Jessie Doyle. I want her debt settled.
Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases.
How about I'll pay it off for her?
Kind and efficient. Can't say I disapprove. Although, seeing as this woman isn't a member of our crew, it'd be nice if the price weren't quite so high.
How high is high?
I think you may have underestimated the size of Miss Doyle's debt. If you'll look over this itemized bill.
You're charging that much for emotional anguish? Really?
I am extremely anguished, Captain. Please respect my feelings in this difficult time.
I doubt Mr. Bedford's ever felt real pain. We could introduce him to the sort of suffering that actually constitutes extreme anguish. For the good of his understanding, of course.
Be careful you don't irritate my guards, Vicar. You might not like their rather narrow understanding of what constitutes excessive force.
But I mean, 2,500? Yeah, I can cover that.
I'm glad we could come to an accommodation. You may inform Miss Doyle that our collections agent will be recalled. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work?
I should still have plenty of beats. Yes, I have 12,000. Yeah, and my performance is completely in the gutters.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice, too.
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm in the clear, thanks to you squaring my debt. You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are cleared.
And she paid me half of what I paid to the board, so I'll be on my way.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jessie. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better than average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off.
Are you saying you'll work for me just because I helped Jessie? You really don't like owing people, do you?
It's like people touching a cookie and leaving it in the box. It's just one of those things that gets under my skin.
I can understand that. Welcome aboard.
You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Captain.
Well, I don't like having Max in my party. I don't know, he just like, nah, I'm not impressed and everything, so let's ditch Vicar.
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.
Now, originally, I was heading to the rest and go. To Gladys. Okay. Striptease. Okay.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Let me see what you've got for sale.
won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys.
You do have some unique weapons, I see. Salvage's Helper fires a hailstorm of corrosive bullets. The loading mechanism is complex, resulting in long reloads. The data cartridge contains the public records of Hephaestus mining outpost on Scylla. It can be viewed using the captain's terminal on the Unreliable. I would like to buy that thing.
Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Dude, 10k? Sheesh. Any chance of discount since Phineas sent me?
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light on the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double.
Tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
No qualms. Let's hear the deal.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why was it abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Wonder what kind of haul they left behind.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Say no more. I'm in.
You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
Abandoned outpost, corporate secrets, got it.
Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
Aww, I got a candy. That's nice. I like her. I got a candy.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Let's see. I think you should give me a bounty.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed McRed yet, I want you to hurt him a little before you do. Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a light beating at least before he kicks off.
Yep.
I believe I'm growing fond of you, bounty hunter. If you got the Mardets' backs, the Mardets have got yours. Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty hunters like you in the future.
What's a Mardet?
We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know.
Why Mardet and not a guard officer?
The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
I'll be on my way. Let me quickly check my stuff. My journal. Okay. Okay. Travel to the relay. Find captain on Scylla. Ask Parvati. Find an acid steeper. Give the data cartridge. Okay. Yes. Okay. Oh.
Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhill. I noticed your pistol's been making a funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully. You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price.
She has a real fixation on having a debt.
Hey, you got a second?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just admiring your ship from up close. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me.
Confident? You're pretty eager to throw in with somebody you barely know.
Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired.
Let's go with a temperament check.
Oh, okay. Well, can you give me a couple of pointers?
I'm looking for loyal bootlickers. No, don't beg. Tell me why I need you on my crew.
Hey, that's good advice. I like the way you think, boss. Besides, not like there's a line of folks standing around hoping to get on your ship. I'm persistent, I'm eager, and I'm showing initiative. What else do you want on your crew?
Flatter me like your life depends on it. How about an interview?
Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. I mean, first time for everything, right? Ask me anything you like.
What's the value of pie?
It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust? Maybe with a little cream on top? Classic.
What's your biggest flaw?
Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority, it's with jackasses. So yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't suffer idiots. Hope that's not a deal breaker.
You hope. Are you any good in a fight?
Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with one swing of a tossball stick. You can count on me in a scrap, boss. That's a promise.
Perfect, you're hired.
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this.
We'll see you in the ship, Felix.
I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
Well, this'll be interesting, huh?
Okay, there is some relief on the memory, on the video memory.
Hey, Max.
What?
You really think we all have a purpose?
It's not really that simple, but yes, fine. Anything else?
If that's the case, is it my purpose to annoy you, or yours to be annoyed by me?
Aha!
Go away.
You can't
Aha!
deny fate, Vicar.
Aha! Okay, that was a funny. That was a nice punch. Okay. Okay, that must be Ellie's room, right? Trauma kit. It's distressed. Yeah, old saber. Mysterious bottle of hooch. For disinfecting probably. I found 2 more people. Right? I had place for 4. Can Agent Khan rescue Auntie Cleo from the clutches of the weekenders? In praise of arson, this contraband collection of essays by anonymous anarchists calls for a total destruction of the corporate establishment and the apparatus of oppression. Violence is not the answer. Violence is the question. The answer is yes. Figured I should start writing my thoughts down just in case I ever start losing my mind. He's into movies and such, right? Well, of course this guy is in Parvati's room, because where else would he be, right? So we have some stuff to do on the terminal. I would like to store all my modifications. I would like to store the Montag. These two, oof, I'm not sure. Let me see. When I am looking at my weapons, I do not see the weapons that are equipped, right? Right. Not cool. Let me see. So I do have 2 modifications at plasma cutter, which is good. I have a shock stick, but I cannot apply, like it's, yeah, okay. Let's see what I can do with the plasma cutter. Can I somehow sort this stuff? Probably not. Okay. Armor. Okay, melee. Durability. Armor. Attack speed. Power attack damage. That will change it to plasma. I do not have any modification that would have made my melee weapons quiet, which is sad. Let's see. Shock, critical damage, weapon range. Ranged weapons spread. So I do have 5 muzzlers. That is nice. Thug kits. Hunter kits. Ranged weapon skills plus 5. Backpack. Physical armor. Sprint speed. Okay, interactable highlight range. Nightingale's step. More of that. Silver tongue. Cushioned soils. Souls, sorry. Now, I am actually pretty pleased with this stuff that I have, because it gives me a Nightingale step already. It is very nice. Take it, I miss gadget and armoring. Oh, maybe I need to put these two as well inside, by the way. Sad that I cannot do anything with these two because their noise is above what I need. But you already have Extendicide, and I can put a muzzler on you. You do have noise range of 30 meters, so that would make you a 3 meter. Ooh, that's still more than 2.5. And yet this would be better than any other weapon that I have over here. So any weapon with less than 25 of noise range should be suitable for being an assassin weapon. So that would be Spacer's Choice, bolter pistol, revolver, plasma rifle, surprisingly, okay. Ha, a shock cannon would be nice silent weapon. I have 2 of them, right? Yeah. So, well, this one is in much better condition, so maybe we can break down this one. Okay. But it gives me a great engineering and it weighs only 0.1. And this weighs nothing. And this weighs nothing. I need to read like that. There must be mods to make this stuff more quiet. Or instead of reading, I can try and visit a particular shop.
Stay safe.
Yeah, I would like to go just alone for a brief while.
It get cooler in here? I swear they had the heat turned way the hell up.
Okay. Attack speed, durability, swing noise, minus 40%, harsh grip. minus 40%, and that would make... Do I have junk, by the way? I do have some junk. But why those ball cards are considered junk? Huh. So, minus 40%, right? So, slightly less than 2. Well, I can actually calculate it. Wait a second, it would be 2.4, right? So because swing noise minus 40%, so you are down to 60%. Yes, 2.4. So it would work on that one. It would never work on a shock stick, however. Interestingly enough, you have noise range of just 2. And you have damage 36 versus 62. I really need... Do I want to then spend 800 on the harsh creep, or I will just eventually stumble upon it? I believe that I will eventually stumble upon it, and I do not need to spend my money on that. So, oh my god, look at the time. We will be wrapping this episode right now. In the next one, we will start with checking out the terminal. I believe we have some entries that we need to read or do something else. Then we need to chat with the crew, right? Right.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
And yeah, well, probably then we'll need to decide where to go next and what to do next. But again, next time. For now, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. If that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.